Okay, let's do this. I'm Chronix from the most extreme wrestling, and this is your AEW Dynamite review for September 1st, 2021. Back here once again live in Chicago. They're going to be in Chicago all week. My goodness, you got Dynamite here on Wednesday, Rampage on Friday. Then on Sunday, All Out. So yeah, we're in the final stretch going in here to the All Out 2021 pay-per-view. Got JR, Tony Schiavone, and Excalibur all on commentary. All right. So we're gonna kick this thing off with FTR with Tully Blanchard versus Proud and Powerful. Now, FTR, they've recovered from their injuries. I thought maybe this feud would go on to All Out, but it looks like no, that will not be happening whatsoever on the pay per view. It's not on the card. It didn't make it. It didn't make the cut. That's how you know that All Out is such a powerful pay per view, such a solid pay per view that even this match didn't even make it. So they're doing it right here. Proud and Powerful are taking this match seriously, regardless of that. They got the war paint on, they got the face paint, and yeah. So Dax over here starting this thing off with some wrestling, and Santana comes in aggressively. He's bringing in the chops, he's bringing in the fist. They're spilling this action out to the outside, and the turnbuckle gets exposed once again. And I'm like, FTR must have been having flashbacks at this point. I mean, it was kind of their fault, right? That the turnbuckle got exposed here. They're trying to do everything they can, going to put their own bodies at risk. Look, you're going against Proud and Powerful. Maybe, perhaps, it's something that you're going to have to do. There's a big frog splash here from Santana for 2, but Santana, hard fought victory over here to get the win. And Proud and Powerful, man, yeah, that's good for them. Is this over? Is it over with FTR? I feel like they should just stop. I mean, they're not going to be on the pay per view, right? But I'm glad. I'm very glad to see Proud and Powerful coming up here. I want to see more of them. I think that they are a great team, and definitely want to see more action from them. Yeah, but check this out. Backstage 2.0. Man, they, yeah, you know what? That's a good point. I have heard that FTR is going to leave the company too. Um, it's kind of crazy that they came in with so much just behind them. Everybody's like, "Oh my god, it's FTR. They're going to be the greatest tag team ever." And they're so awesome and they're so great. And yeah, when I look at the handling of the way they have dealt with FTR in the past, sure they've had good matches. And they've done some really good things, but very questionable decisions, I would say, in placement and the way that they've displayed them and some of the promos they've had them do and record. I don't know. It's very odd. Yeah, they probably are going to be leaving. I'd probably leave as well, quite honestly. Just based on what they've done with them, it's like, okay, well, if all they're going to do is just have really good matches, there's a lot of wrestling companies out there right now. There's a lot to choose from. So if they're going to leave soon, that makes sense. So probably so. Backstage though, 2.0, they're doing their best WCW impression. They're the promos that they do. I don't know what it is. I cannot be the only one. Every time I see them, I'm just like, they belong in another era. But Daniel Garcia, he's cutting a promo on Darby and says that he won't, and he's going to somehow stop this from happening. And I'm like, well, it's good to believe in yourself, but I feel like there is no act of nature that could stop that match from happening. I'm going to cross my fingers, though, because there has been a lot of cancellations. There have been, like, for instance, the Pac match. Apparently, it's off because of international travel with Andrade, but Andrade is going to have like a surprise replacement. Is what I hear. I'm okay with that. But yeah, I'd like to see those guys mix it up again. Oh, I hate things getting canceled. It's so annoying. Oh my goodness. But yeah, let's just cross our fingers there. One thing that is definitely happening and is happening right now is CM Punk coming to the ring to cut a promo. And he is glad that people are still chanting his name and still excited about him. And I'm like, okay, it's been like a week. Of course, Andy's in Chicago, but he's that he's got to go out there and he's got to deliver. And yeah, 2.0 and Daniel Garcia, they attack CM Punk. That was going to happen. This man's getting triple teamed right here. But Darby Allin and Sting, they finally walked down. They've had enough of this. Good thing that they had their face paint ready to go. They always do. They break this thing up and they hit a Scorpion Death Drop and a GTS from Punk simultaneously. So I wasn't expecting to see a GTS from CM Punk. I wasn't expecting him to do a move, period. I mean, of course, he's not in his ring gear. You know, he's just like in a jacket. His jacket is all disheveled. He's wearing his white shirt that pro wrestling tees cannot make enough of fast enough. They're working like every single day to pump this shirt out, the best selling shirt of all time, which is crazy. I mean, it's not crazy, but at the same time, it's like that's a lot of shirts. That's a lot of shirts, and the demand has to be absolutely insane. So yeah, people are excited. What are you gonna do? So really, that's good for them, but back to this, yeah. So we got Punk and Darby Allin face to face. So even though they came down and they helped out or whatever, it's still going to be on. Like these two guys are going to face each other, and this is going to be a big clash. And Sting gets on the microphone, which I didn't expect, but I was happy about. Punk didn't really need to say anything else, I suppose. Darby, whatever. But to have Sting, like the locker room leader type guy, the old school guy, and here in AEW, just being like, well, I've always wanted to be in the ring with CM Punk, Allen, and I'm going to go to the back and just let you guys do what you do. And I was like, that's cool. I like that. I mean, I expected that from Sting anyways. Like I didn't expect Sting to get involved, but just an extra reminder, like, all right, up to you guys. Like, Punk, you got to prove yourself after 7 years of not being in the ring. And Darby Allin has to prove himself going against somebody like CM Punk, who has caused all these t shirt shortages, these labor shortages at Pro Wrestling Tees. So, yes. Um, Binge watching the old stuff from the One Night Stand. Look, One Night Stand is still one of my favorite pay-per-views, and I have thought about going back and like reviewing it again because the 2005 and the 2006, like, man, nice. So yes, but thank you, yeah, some of these videos they go back a long way. So yeah, all right, and hopefully we're gonna be getting some new classics because look, All Out 2021 is going to be one of those pay-per-views that people are like, yeah, that show. Just like how I feel about One Night Stand. So, let's move on with this. All right, video package with Christian and Kenny Omega. So this match, of course, still going to happen. And man, Christian, it's funny. Like, I know it's not funny, but when I see Christian in the ring and he's working a completely different style than what Omega normally works, that's what we're going to be seeing at the pay per view. This isn't going to be a typical Kenny Omega match. This is going to be something else. And Kenny Omega, I got to give him credit. Like, he can work those kind of matches. And although it's not exactly his style, um, it's going to be a classic regardless because, man, Christian is one of the greats over here in AEW. So that's definitely going to be great. Tony Schiavone sitting down, looking very casual, like not wearing a suit. He looks like he's about to play golf or something. He's sitting down with MJF, and MJF says that Chris Jericho's been on a downward spiral. He's been losing. And Chris Jericho, he's basically addicted to this. And MJF's just going to have to do what he does. So that is one of the matches I am looking forward to a lot. And yeah, we'll get more into that when Chris Jericho actually gets in the ring. I'll talk about that. Right now, Orange Cassidy's taking on Jack Evans. You got big money Matt Hardy with Jack Evans. I don't know how can Matt Hardy afford all of these people? Like I understand he's got like a farm, like he's got his dad's farm, right? He's probably made bukus of money, so much money in the business. But how can he afford so many guys? He must be paying them so little. If I remember correctly, he was paying them like a percentage. So, yeah, they're probably not getting paid a lot if that was actually the case. But yeah, Matt attacks Orange Cassidy before the bell, and the referee ejects. That's not the word. ejects. He ejects him out of the arena, right? And Orange Cassidy. Oh man, live videos, I swear. All right. So Orange Cassidy wins with a small package. And yeah, and this happens during the commercial break, during the picture in picture. So yeah, bad timing. I mean, and then Matt Hardy comes from behind and attacks. You got Chuck Taylor and Yuta trying to save, but then Matt Hardy's boys come down and attack. They're surrounding Orange, and then Jurassic Express comes down to save the day. And the fans, they're waving to the Jurassic Express song. AEW has so many fun theme songs. I mean, do they not? It's wild how many just songs that people sing along to, or they just, they get super excited to hear, like Orange Cassidy's song. I'm always like, oh, yeah, man, that is a banger, and I enjoy it. So, all right. Continuing, Eddie Kingston, he's getting a promo on Miro. Miro's talking about being the Redeemer, and their match is happening at All Out. So that's cool. All right. Yeah, and before I move on from that, Eddie Kingston is not one of my favorite wrestlers. I've said this so many times, but I do feel like it's going to be a good match with Miro. I think about their two different styles, and I'm like, hmm, it's an acceptable clash here. So I'm down with it. You know what I'm saying? All right, Moxley, he's ready for Kojima. That's happened at All Out. All I can say is at least AEW gives something for everybody. They give, it's like you go to get some ice cream if that's something that you do. And, they got a lot of flavors and you're like, I'll have that. And they have it. You know what I mean? Something for everybody. All right, so inside of the ring, JR is sounding emotional as he introduces Chris Jericho. Jericho comes down to the ring for an interview. Look at All Out. If Chris Jericho loses this final match here with MJF, this is like what, fourth match? Then he will no longer wrestle in AEW. He legitimately looks emotional. JR is looking emotional. And Jericho's mentioning, yeah, that if he loses, he will go to the commentary desk. So continuing to remind us that, look, if I lose, it's not completely over. I'm still going to be here and I'm going to be on commentary. I don't know if that's like a red herring or something, but every time he's like, don't worry, guys, I'll be on the commentary desk. And I'm like, I feel like he's going to lose. And, I thought about this before this week, after last week's episode, I sat and I pondered. And I asked AEW, but I'm like, what else? I just don't see it. I think Chris Jericho, I think this is the perfect way to go. I think putting him MJF over as the guy who beats him is the perfect way to do it. I've thought this since last week. I have not changed my mind whatsoever. I think Jericho's done, and they keep mentioning, oh well, in AEW, which makes me think you have obviously the possibility of Impact. They've already worked with each other. Who would he wrestle in Impact? I'm sure they could. There's probably a dream match there or here, or you have GCW. I mean, Jericho can do whatever he wants. The fans love Jericho. He went to Japan, they loved him. He went to AEW, they loved him. Jericho can go to any promotion and do one or two feuds or none. And I think people would be fine. Me personally, seeing Jericho's like pretty much, I guess, his whole career on television, I mean, I'm good, dude. I've seen Jericho do literally everything, so I'm good with it. So Jericho's eyes were red. He had been crying, and he says that if MJF is going to win, he's literally going to have to. He's going to. Stone Jericho loses, and he's like, when I was 15, I would have been my number one wrestler would have been Darby Allin, and Darby Allin said when he was 15, CM Punk was his favorite wrestler. And he said that I was first on your list, which tells me that you're already overlooking me. And I was like, man, that is true. Because if he was, if he was like somebody that he seriously was like, I don't know if I can beat him. I don't know, man. Ooh, this guy is better than me, almost, perhaps. You wouldn't pick that person as the first one. You'd probably pick somebody that like Darby Allin, where you're like, I'm pretty sure even after 7 years, I probably could beat him. So there you go. But yeah, he's gonna do the impossible, or he's gonna die trying. He's gonna beat CM Punk in his hometown of Chicago. So yeah, that'll be nice. We'll see. Hmm. It's gonna be an interesting match. Another one, man. Another match that I really want to see. All right, Hobbs. He's got Hook with him. He's got Taz on commentary. Hobbs is taking on Brian Cage, and yeah, Brian Cage jumpstarts this entrance because look, they have been dogging this man. They have been attacking him. What the reason was, but they decided. Hook distracts. Ricky Starks pops out of nowhere and smacks Brian Cage with the FTW Championship. Powerhouse Hobbs gets the win. Man, they are doing my man Brian Cage so wrong. And we see Malachi Black. He's got a little video, and he's saying that when he left the ring, yeah, when he left the ring last week, Lee Johnson was inside of the ring, and he did that because he wants to fight him on his own terms. He's reminding us that he's not scared, right? So yeah, he's gonna beat up Lee Johnson, and he's gonna beat him up good. That seems to be what's gonna happen. Now, QT Marshall, he is calling out, like, they cut to QT Marshall. He's in mid promo and he's calling out Paul White. And Paul White, he's like, no more BS. He comes down. The factory piles up on Paul. Paul overpowers all these dudes like he's Andre the Giant. The Gun Club comes to help. And I'm like, the Gun Club? What? Why? But why? Why are they here? I don't know. QT Marshall, he tries to get involved. He tries to help, but there's four guys in the ring. I don't know why he would have done that. It doesn't seem like a very good decision. He gets knocked down. And then the Gun Club and Paul White are just standing there together. And then Billy Gunn has a chair in his hand and he hits Paul White from behind. And I'm like, what? The heel turn that no one expected and no one asked for. But the factory, yeah, they attack, after Paul White, he's like struggling to his feet and he gets hit again with the chair. So it wasn't a mistake. He did it twice, right? And Billy, I don't know why he blasted him with that chair, but the factory, they pick up Paul White and yeah, QT hits Paul White with a diamond cutter. Cool. So I guess we will see Paul White destroy QT Marshall at All Out. We are so excited about that. It's unreal. But what is real is Britt Baker, champion. She's going to be at a Comic-Con here in my area next week. So I'm going to try to go to that. I got her action figure. I want to get it signed. That would be pretty dope. So hopefully she'll still be the champion then. I'll be upset if she's not. But yeah, she's got Jamie Hayter, who is sure to turn on her at the pay-per-view, right? And Rebel is there as well. They're being interviewed by Tony. They got some big news. They're talking about star power here in the Casino Battle Royal at All Out. Hayter and Rebel are going to be in that match, and Britt Baker has signed a long-term contract with AEW. Cool. We expected this. Chris Statlander, she on Friday will be in a 2-on-1 match. So 2 people against Chris Statlander. That's not right. That's wrong. Why would they do this to her? So just, I don't like it. Attacking Chris Statlander, I am sad on here, but she hitting her, right? right in her chest, and it looked odd. I don't know, this weird backbreaker. It was just odd. It was off. I don't know. I don't even know how to explain it without showing you. But the fans, they didn't really know what to think about that. Ty Conti kicks Ford in the face 3 times, running into the ropes, kicking her in the face. Not enough though, and Ford, she takes over in this match. I don't know how. She just got kicked 3 times in the face, but she was able to do that. Ty grabs, look, the bunny's trying to distract whatever. Ty Conti pulls her up the apron, and then Penelope Ford comes running down. My goodness, Ty Conti. The bunny helps. And then, surprise return. Anna Jay comes down to save her Dark Order buddy. And Anna Jay, Ty Conti, they hug. And guess what? Anna Jay's going to be in the Casino Battle Royal. So, just a complete cluster F that's going to be happening at All Out. Now, my girl Thunder Rosa is being interviewed for one whole second before Jade and Nyla Rose interrupt, and Thunder Rosa's just like, screw it, I'm just gonna attack you guys and fight you. So they do that, and that ensues. So why they got to do this to Thunder Rosa, I am sad. Get a video package on Chris Jericho and MJF, and yeah, so that's gonna be a huge match. I don't know what I'm looking forward to more. Can Darby Allin, really cement himself as a player here in AEW and in his match against CM Punk? Or is it that Jericho MJF match? What is going to steal the show? As I'm looking at these matches, Christian Cage, Kenny Omega, it'll be good. But show stealer? I don't think so. Those are definitely going to be. And then, the Young Bucks and the Lucha Bros in a cage? I think those championships are coming off of the Young Bucks, if I'm going to be honest. All right, it's the main event. Speaking of the Young Bucks, they got the tag team champions, AEW championships. They got the Good Brothers, who's Impact champion. Don Callis, he's going to be on commentary. Brandon Cutler, he's going to be there. All right, they're taking on Jurassic Express and Lucha Bros. So, oh my gosh, there's going to be people flying around. There's going to be a lot of action, a lot of high flying going on. So, lots of craziness up in here. But Luchasaurus and Doc Gallows, these two big behemoths, they begin this thing. Lots of high energy, all the high flying you could want. But the Young Bucks hit the Meltzer driver. Oh, excuse me. What's going to happen at this pay-per-view with the cage? Look, but we're not done with this. Look, Kenny Omega with jet black and blue hair. He's coming down. He's got a microphone. He's doing his best, like Ted DiBiase laugh. And he starts putting the boots to the good guys over here. You know what I'm saying? Luchasaurus gets put through a table with the Magic Killer. And I'm like, oh no. Kenny Omega is talking mess to Jungle Boy. Christian runs in. Brandon Cutler's like giving everybody kendo sticks. And I'm like, what? Where did all these kendo sticks come from? And Omega is mentioning Tony Khan. And I'm like, what? Why is he talking about video games and whatever? Apparently, he has let Don Callis get the keys to the control room. So Don Callis is in the back hitting switches, dropping the cage is coming down. I mean, he didn't drop it, but it's coming down and trapping everybody in there. Frankie Kazarian and Dante Martin try to get in there, try to get inside of the cage to help. But guess what? They got those kendo sticks are swatting people away. So I like this, establishing the idea that they will be in a cage. They will be locked in there. Nobody's getting in or out in this thing, even though, in a lot of tag matches, people do get in or out. But in this thing, they're not going to get in and out. Not on this one. So this is a good old-fashioned beatdown inside of this cage where, like, even Marco Stunt is trying to break into this cage, but he cannot. It's not going to happen. BTE trigger to Christian and Omega. Man, he is talking crap on the microphone. You can barely hear it. I don't know what was up with the audio, but yeah, they go off the air kind of in the midst of all this chaos. So we do have Rampage coming up, but yeah, it's going to be a awesome pay-per-view. I've already ordered it. I'm excited about it. It's definitely going to be going down this Sunday. So yeah, All Out, man. It's going to be a big thing. So I'm going to check it out. Yeah, and we'll talk about it then. But you can follow me on Twitter at MXW Chronics, and on Twitch at twitch.tv/donut_space, and the YouTube Wrestling Federation, facebook.com/YouTube Wrestling Federation, or on YouTube at youtube.com/YouTube Wrestling Federation. And thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you guys next time.